everybody. Smash the like button.
Yo, GM fam. Hope you are doing all right. Welcome to the show. Let me just see this. Refresh this here. Crypto and NFTs. That's what we are talking about today. Bitcoin crushing its all-time high, doing its new thing. Man, we lost the space. What happened there? That's wild. We'll get it back. Here we go. I don't know if that's going to screw it up, but boom. Now we are in it to win it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. GM. I am Jay Chains. This is Web3 Breakfast. All right. If you want to come up and chat with us today, please make sure that you hit that request button. Come into the space. Not only is this a live stream, as you can see, if you are watching on X or YouTube, we're streaming on both today. Got the chat going. Mike Lowry in the house. Let's go. Actually, I think my camera looks a little blurry. Wait, if you can hear me, I'm gonna need you to hit that autofocus button, please and thank you. You're gonna get a blurry me until that happens. So she'll hear in the delay. But man, I hope y'all had a great weekend. As you can tell, I'm a little scratchy in my voice. We were at the UFC fight Saturday night in Nashville. Went with Whit, my sister, my brother-in-law, and then a couple of the guys from the VeFam. It was amazing. I don't know if you guys watched the fights, but that last fight, holy smokes. It was crazy how that just like it turned into a beatdown all of a sudden. Postmaster, my guy, what's up, brother? Can you hear me? Can you guys not hear anything in the space? I don't see the audio wave thing. Oh. Let's try this again. I don't think the space could hear me. I think it was just absolutely quiet that whole time. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you guys couldn't hear me throughout all of that?
Nothing, bro. There was not a peep coming from your mic, bro. It didn't even look like your mic was moving. I was just sitting here patiently waiting for Jay Chains to jump out there and nothing until right now, bro. Here you are. Lift off. Let's go.
Now we're good. Now y'all can hear me. Okay, here's what I would say. I appreciate you guys being here. Obviously, I sound a little raspy. I sound a little hoarse in my voice. It's because I was at the UFC fight in Nashville. Thank you so much to the V-Chain DAO, the V-Better DAO, everybody that made that stuff possible. That was so much fun. Got a chance to go with my sister, my brother-in-law, and my wife. And then we also met up with a couple of the V-Fam there. It was such a fun time. The fights were amazing. You know, Nashville, they better get another UFC fight. I know it was, I think 2018 was the last time UFC was there. Nashville showed up, man, and that was a good time.
Nashville's such a beautiful state. Was out there for the Karate Combat last year, and can't believe the Southern hospitality there. It's absolutely on another level. I would love to go back.
I would hope that, you know, it was really interesting. I thought that the Bitcoin conference was going to do like a multiple year run in Nashville for some reason. I thought, you know, because they had done that in Miami. And typically, like, you know, you sign like a multi-year deal and things become cheaper. It's a more efficient thing to do. So, and I thought that was the word that they were doing at least 2 to 3 years there. But maybe you know, it's over the course of X amount of years so they can spread it out and they can, you know, show the love. Because obviously, but, you know, Vegas got back to back. And I'm sure that was the deal that they made with Vegas. Like, look, we're coming, you know, less than a year apart. You know, let's do a less than 2-for-1 deal or whatever. But Nashville is awesome for the conferences. It was a lot of fun for the UFC fights too. It was, I mean, that was a star-studded event. I know, not funny, man. I know that I posted the picture that was from the Karate Combat thing when you said, you know, if we see Haley Welch, old Haktua, that picture was from the Karate Combat event that was in Nashville. But I did repost it. I recycled that content.
Yeah, man, that was a star-studded event, dude. There were so many fucking cool people at the crypto event. Yeah, Ship Toshi there, pit side with President Awesome. It was a pretty wild event, eh?
Speaking of, I don't know. I mean, you're obviously in the space, and I know it's tough to do space and live stream at the same time. But I happened to be wearing my Squid Grow shirt today. That was my fight shirt when I fought in Austin at Consensus last year. Squid Grow was one of my sponsors. They were my main sponsor, man. I love Shiv, man. Him and the crew are amazing.
Yeah, shout out Silent Swap. That's the tech that we all deserve, man. It's cross-chain DEX, you know. So if you got a token or a chain or whatever that's not involved with Silent Swap, you guys should get in contact with Shib, get your listings out there, because decentralization's the way, baby. Let's go. Bitcoin all-time high, James.
All-time high. Speaking of, I gotta get my other phone because I screwed this up. My hash is coming up here, and it just reminded me, man, that slipped. I was supposed to send you those tokens hash, and I completely forgot about that.
No stress. I'm pretty sure that was the exact message that I sent you the first time. No stress. Don't worry about it. I'm not too concerned. You're not going. I know where to find you.
Yeah,
I know
that's
where
a
to
good
find
point. And you just did. GM, brother.
Yeah. GM. Have we, talked about $122,000 Bitcoin?
Not exciting.
Or we just what? I mean, it's kind of exciting,
No,
right?
Dude, it's
break that
crazy,
next
right?
10. It's a little bit.
Like we know what's happening here, and I'm gonna go. Let me pull up in a chart because I feel like looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart is something that we need to be looking at today, right? Because look, this thing is going to keep rolling. Now, I do know altcoins are ripping too. Like ONDO's up to like 95 cents or something. I got this thing right here. JASMY's up almost 6% today to almost 2 cents. That's going to be a fucking win at some point for a bunch of people when that thing rips, because that number at 2 cents.
Sorry, what was the
7% today of 6.5?
JASMY? Sorry, what's JASMY?
JASMY is it's like an IoT play. It's out of Japan. It's like they say it's Japan's Bitcoin, and not because it's the Bitcoin killer replacement, but because it's kind of like that same ethos, right? With everything behind it, and very cultural. So Japan loves ONDO. That is 100%. The executives or the team members were all executives at like the major W2 or Web2 companies, like Motorola and all those massive companies that came out of Japan. And so that was originally built. And now obviously we know that Sony, even like Sony executives, like we're over there. Sony's got the Sonium, they got their own blockchain. So it's not like, that's the saving grace anymore. But the whole idea of it's very, very big in Japan. So Japan also recently, like much like what we're doing here, and this was several months ago, they were coming out with the article saying that this was the plan, that they were going to be doing ETFs, as far as like taxes, they were going to be giving some tax rebates back to their people. They were really going to start changing the framework and structure of crypto. And so making it more accepted and, a bigger deal over there. So the whole idea of kind of like what we're seeing here, like made and minted in America, those tokens will probably rip on a different level than some others. JASMY over Japan will probably do that just because it's going to be more widely accepted. If that makes sense to you guys, I'm sure you get it.
Yeah, there's going to be 7 heads of 7 countries for sure, dude. And JASMY's probably looking at one of them. ONDO too, taking over the stocks and institutionals. Hedera ripping this week, and Stellar, dude, Stellar Lumens. Are we just not going to talk about the elephant in the room doing 100% over the last
Isn't it crazy? Like doesn't it always like Stellar rips when Bitcoin rips, right? Like it's weird. Like it's like it's the privacy coin, all that, but there is some relation.
Yeah, heavily tied liquidity pairs. I'm starting to really learn about those liquidity pairs and also anything that's got futures, man. You really look at those fucking futures, and it's playing a huge role in these bull cycles and stuff. So there's so much to it now, man, with the top 50 tokens. Like it's really become a beacon of financial freedom really over here in the crypto world. It's almost like the world's liquidity markets are really focusing on everything to do with crypto and who to team up with. So announcements after announcements after announcements, too much to keep up with, man.
I'm telling you, that's what I feel like. And you guys know I'm an ONDO bull, and I will always remain bullish. And I am, I am invested. I pay attention to what's happening over there. But again, even today, like, you said taking over the tokenized stocks thing. I will continue to talk shit about X stocks and what Robinhood's doing because that's just wrapped bullshit. There's actual not the same liquidity behind it as you're going to see the stuff coming from ONDO Global Markets and how that's rolling out with literally over 100 stocks out the gate. And you got like some of these other companies that are saying, oh, we've got X amount, but when you truly look at it, they're not available, coming soon, that kind of stuff. So while they might have, the liquidity pairs or however it's listed on their platforms, you can't do anything with it yet. So it's false advertising on so many fronts. Whereas again, ONDO announced this morning that there's another, again, like announcements every fucking day is happening from that camp, and they are just massive scale things. They acquired another company that is going to help with the release of the stocks with the Global Alliance. It's wild, every day, 100. Go ahead, Mike. What's up, my guy?
Yo, GM, what a great day to wake up to. I saw we topped out at some point during the night at 123. Like, that's crazy, man. It's my biggest anxiety right now is that with everything that's going on, is like we don't have a bear market, and now I can't compound my gains that I would like to hope to. That's honestly because you get countries buying Bitcoin, you got the government getting into it, the green light being lit, potentially no capital gains, in the U.S. Maybe in the future, which actually will probably make me move. A lot of bullish things. I was thinking to myself, like, I can't think of a narrative of where this all goes to shit. Like everybody was chasing yield last time, but I don't see. Okay, no one ever knows where a black swan's going to come from, but it's just like I can't think of a logical narrative except for maybe if like one of these companies trying to copy Michael Saylor with the treasury, they go bust. That's maybe what can cause like an effect where everything starts to go down. But dude, it's crazy. I was looking at XRP at 3 cents.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is he's got a huge head start, like on anyone else trying to do that major acquisition thing. And like he announced today, they've got over 600,000 Bitcoin now. Is that correct? About like another 4,000.
I don't think he's going to fail because I think what's going to happen is you're going to get a smaller company trying to do the same thing, but maybe they don't have cash flow. So when they start to see Bitcoin going down, they panic and they don't have the cash flow to make up for it. So they can't take a loss like that. Whereas, other companies will have cash flow to make up for, you don't have to sell your Bitcoin if you have cash flow coming in to cover your operating costs.
We'll see how it goes, man. I know that there's like all that talk about, like certain levels where there's liquidation levels, all that stuff. I'm sure he's going to be fine at this point. Who would try? I mean, there are people doing treasuries and there are people trying to, that have that high acquisition. But man, it's like, why would you try to be like the second best? I mean, you just do it quietly. Don't try to be vocal about it.
Absolutely, man. I don't see this crashing. Like again, we're never going to see where it's going to come from, but it's you might be right. This might be the start of a super cycle.
Telling you, we've been talking about that for a while. Guys. Like potentially, it's an emerging market. There's a lot of things going right, like what Mike just said. You got nation states, sovereign wealth funds, governments. People are fighting over Bitcoin, and they are probably starting to get into some of the larger scale altcoins too. But the whole idea of where this is headed, I like the idea of a super cycle, man. The stock market here did it in the U.S. for 12 years. Why cannot crypto do this for at least 10? Give it to us up and to the right only for the next decade. That'd be wild. How many people will turn into pro traders? No one wants to trade anymore.
Hey, that's not me.
I got wrecked in November.
I'm sitting here with my 40x long on Solana last night at $1.60, bro, and I think I'm gonna die on that horse.
Just let that thing run, man.
Let it fucking run. If this thing goes to like $200 today, like I think it's going to, the Solana Moon Boys haven't showed up for any of this yet. It's still sitting at its fucking, monthly. It hasn't moved a fucking penny. It's literally just kind of tracing up with Bitcoin slightly. Like Solana never does this. So I think it's going to show up to the party. Maybe people are checking out that meme world or or whatever that fucking is. You guys see that thing pop up? There's a few like meme dedicated chains. It might be affecting Solana a little bit, but I mean, we have our meme chain. It's Solana, you know, like fuck, what do we need a meme chain for? We got Solana, you know? So I think
that makes me wonder.
Are cooking.
That makes me wonder if we do have another leg up because of the whole pumped up fund thing, raising like 600 million in like 12 minutes. So imagine Solana has another run because of that.
I would imagine Solana's probably going to compete with Ethereum at some point. It's going to pull something out of its sleeve. This is pure speculation, but I think it probably will have to do with Elon doing his own token. It'll be some celebrity, one of the biggest accounts here actually launching on Solana, and then off we fucking go, right? Just there's something cooking. I can tell. I can smell it in the background. Everybody in Solana is just a little too fucking quiet, like way too quiet for what's happening here. The spaces aren't as abundant. I don't know. There's something cooking though.
Interesting.
You guys are making me so bearish right now.
You literally have a bear PFP.
Is this? Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's
a
true. I
good
do have a bear
point.
PFP.
No, but I do feel you're right though, right?
The euphoria, man. Ugh.
That's a killer, man. It is a killer. Like you've got to always be, and that's why I feel like some people still don't want to get like back into the trade game because, like like if you've been toasted or you've been wrecked and liquidated at like liquidation events when it's not supposed to happen, but that's just how they want to clear the books and move things forward. Like people have PTSD, and I get it. And you've got to be cognizant of the fact that there are always pullbacks. Those corrections are very healthy, but can't at some point. You got to throw like it becomes, man. Somebody once told me like bull markets, it's kind of like nothing makes sense anymore, right? And that's kind of like you get to that point. But that's why leading up to it, the euphoria, pre-euphoria, a little don't shoot your wad too early with a little pre-euphoria. That would be embarrassing.
I mean, when I started trading, I got wrecked in November. Sorry, you go ahead.
I mean, what do you want from us here? We're at all-time highs. How can you not be in this euphoric stage? And of course, man, yeah, this is the time to really buckle down, set stop losses, take profits, like slowly, every real fucking heavy bump up, you should be fucking taking profits. I like to kind of like set my roster up like almost like I feel like it's like baseball where I kind of can adjust when a guy hits a fucking a three baser. I'll fucking adjust who's up to bat next, right? I'll just move it around to guys who haven't fucking hit a good one yet, and like that's my play for now until Bitcoin hits around 160, 150 or so, and then fucking I'm setting my shorts. Like that's it. I'm taking major profits at those ranges wherever Michael Saylor said he's the guy with the fucking most Bitcoin. He's like, 160. So I mean, the KOLs are the people we've always listened to for the tops because they set the mental fucking, the mental strategy really. So as soon as we're on those ranges, man, it's fucking post out time.
Absolutely. And really quick, I agree with 100% of what you said, except for one thing and one thing only, post. And that is, and it's very clear and it's okay. And I'm going to let it slide because I know that you guys only have, I think, one professional baseball team now. That's all that we've let you have, because clearly it's not called a three baser. It's called a triple. Just
a triple.
Okay, even I know that.
I'm super dyslexic sometimes. I do know that. I'm just super dyslexic sometimes. So.
Hell yeah. I'm just fucking with you. I agree with 100% of the stuff you were saying, though, Post. Just 100%. What you got, Mike?
So I've said this, on videos before and whatnot. It's like being in this crypto market, you have to get really comfortable with leaving money on the table. You're never going to time it perfectly. You should definitely have a strategy, price targets in mind, and just initiate the plan. Like coming out of this market with profits is pretty good because a lot of people don't. A lot of people will chase that top and just round trip or get wrecked and be all sour. So, applaud yourself for taking profits and, having more money than you had before. It's the name of the game. You keep doing that over time and you're going to be very successful in life. So get comfortable with if selling early, taking some profits, it's okay.
I think you know what? Everything is okay, and what makes it okay is if you build it into your plan, right? Like if you do this strategically, like that's the plan is to take the profits. At some point, you got to set a target to take that. And if it's today, man, it's today. Like you don't know what's tomorrow. We've all been fucking toasted. Someone could say, "Nope, not yet." Rip it back down to 100, and you were saying at one. Where is it? I mean, what's it at right now? Like one. At 122, I'm taking profits, and it never hits it, and then you're fucked, right? Like you gotta you come up with your plan, you stick to your plan, and that's it, man. And then you we know people who sold earlier on at 100,000, but it doesn't matter. They did their plan, right? You could always have bought back in when it dropped back down to 72, but some people flounder when you don't have a plan, and that's the most important thing. So build your plan, but what's important, not just building a plan, putting the systems in place to help you meet your goals or your plan. Strategy. Well,
I think it just looks like he has his hand up.
Who?
Canadian, you got your hand up, brother?
No, you're good to speak, brother.
Hey, that's good. That's good to go. Hey, really quick, I do see there's a bunch of people watching the stream. Thank you guys so much. If you want to be a part of the space, come into the Twitter. You can see the link down below even farther. Man, it's so hard because the pointing is backwards. It's so weird. But yeah, like down there, you can see, you can navigate over to the X page. Come join the space if you want to chit chat with us today. Y'all are more than welcome to. That's the whole point of the show, man. This is for the community, by the community. I am Jay Chains. I got Mike the Modern Canadian with me. I got Hash with me, and my guy Postmaster. Really quick, let's shift gears. This week, not only is it crypto week in DC, we got a lot of regulation coming. They're going to talk about the Genius Act. They're going to talk about some other things. I think that's why we're going to see a big week all week. So get excited for that. Not only is it crypto week in DC, it is fight week down in Florida. Karate Combat doing an 2-day karate combat event. Also, an 8-man heavyweight, or is it super heavyweight or just heavyweight tournament? Post, you there?
Dude, it's an 8-man heavyweight tournament featuring some of fucking the world's best, bro.
Dude,
Alan fucking Belcher's putting his BKFC title on hold and joining Karate Combat to fucking fight for the title, bro. It's gonna be sick,
dude.
And it's a 2-day event.
I can't believe we are going to see Roberto fight for more than 5 seconds.
No. Sorry.
Just one hit clobber people down.
You know what? They put him up. They put him up against the second best guy in the bracket, and I think that's a little bit of a mistake. I don't know. I think they probably should have gave number 1 seat against the worst seat usually, or number 4 or whatever, right? But it seems like, you know, the actual main event should be happening first. So I'm excited about it. I don't know the 2 out of the 6 fighters. I can't find much about them, but their records are fucking pretty good. And I mean, you know, I've never seen them, but out of the 6 up there, man, there's some fucking heavy hitters, and I would expect with the pit mechanics, they all end in a finish. I think we're gonna see a heavyweight fucking tournament that's gonna put karate on the map, because people will actually get to see now what fucking Karate Combat is. We have a 98% knockout ratio in the heavyweight category, right? And mostly because of this fucking guy that's in the tournament. No, right? But yeah, even if you look at 185, 205, and heavyweight, it's a 90% finish rate in those categories. So the heavier you get, the fucking more guaranteed you are to bet on a finish on the fight, which is really cool for, you know, cryptos and Degen gamblers for sure.
Oh, for sure, man. You gonna be there?
I wish, bro. I'm really focused on making some money right now, not spending it. So that's, you know,
well, let's stream. Let's do a stream party for one or both days.
That's awesome. Yeah. Let's do the heavy man tournament.
Anybody wants to come on and talk about the fights? Mike, what you got?
So how does an 8-man tournament work? Like, is it just you guys aren't fighting more than once in a day, right?
Yeah.
'Cause usually you got your time to recover.
No, yeah. The winner will inherently fight 3 times in the same day.
Wild.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
One
Especially for combat.
You lose, you're out.
Wild, right? Like this is so crazy.
Now, if you lose, you're on standby in case one of the other contestants who win get injured badly. So there's still always going to be a winner in the end and a fight in the end, even if an injury happens. And so if you do lose the fight, there is a chance you could go 1-1 and still win the tournament. So it's all about, performing really well, winning a round, So it's a really cool format for martial artists, for gamblers, for bettors, things like that. Like it's really cool. You haven't seen something like it since like One Championship, and K1 was also notorious for doing these big tournaments, and they always fucking turn heads, especially in the heavyweight categories, because these guys come out of the gates fighting really hard in the first fucking bout because they don't want a grueling fight, right? So it falls to the walls on the first fucking round, and always ends up making some fucking cool highlights. So this should put karate on the map. Also, they just don't have a strong heavyweight category in the past. So this was their like big, hey, coming out that, yeah, we got hard hitters and this is a hard hitting sport.
Dude, I'm really excited.
Dude, K1 was awesome watching Bob. Remember Bob Sapp? He'd come out strong in the first round, and then he'd be so gassed and just be running away from the guy for the rest of the fight.
What was that guy? What was his this fucking like 185-pounder fought him, and it was fucking just crazy watching that, man. Him chasing this fucking skinny guy around and just eating shots just to get one little fucking touch in to annihilate him.
Well, I'm really interested to see how the whole. I'm interested to see how it's able to do, if you can do the Karate Combat app for this, or if you just have to pick, what order the fighters come in, or how that's going to work, because you can't. It's not dynamic in the app yet, unless something changes this week.
Okay, so honestly, the app's not all loaded up yet. I've noticed that. Give karate, please give them a little bit of a break, guys. Right now, they are building up layer 2 and have like 10 different leagues that are just inundating them with questions and technical things that need to be worked out over the next like month or two. So I know the team is just working really hard on the back end. They're swamped with what's going on there. So in the next few events, give them a little bit of break. To make up for it, though, I got to tell you guys, if you are a karate token holder, you play karate, now's the time to load up on some karate, because there's a new incentive within the HBAR community. We have all gathered 150 million karate tokens, 150 million extra karate tokens to be distributed over these next 2 events. There's special commercials that are coming out with some retail projects. And guys, that's how Karate Combat will continue to give up only rewards through sponsorships, through ticket gate sales. All sorts of things will be buybacks for karate to keep that game going, to keep super fans in the seats, to keep them governing the league, to keep them governing the tokenomics, to keep the sentiment strong. So if you're not a part of the karate community, guys, now is the time to pick up those tokens so that you can have your say and how the biggest striking league in the world will run its operations. You want to get these tokens now. I'm telling you, the HBAR brands are really starting to figure out what karate's all about. Man, I went to all these events, VIP, free, pit side. You look at all my pictures. I got my arm in the pit while I'm videotaping. It's invaluable. Like media people, KOLs, like everyone's going to be fighting at the fucking chomps to get these VIP tickets, and they're going to be only available to those special players who play and win up only. Other than that, you're sitting in the bleachers, man. You're not getting those pit side passes. You're not getting the special VIP access. It's all about playing up only, winning, getting the VIP experiences. you know, that's the utility of the token. It was well worth putting $500 in at the low, taking out awesome profits, especially playing up only. You're getting staking rewards every single time you play. And, you know, it's up only, baby. You get your good entry right now when it's at an all-time low and Karate Combat token blows up. You're going to be, your asses are going to be in those seats for life, bro. And that's an invaluable thing. If you can think about, you know, UFC 10 or 15 years ago and an opportunity for you to have a lifetime seats in the UFC pit side, would you not just absolutely fucking go streaking down the street to get that opportunity? Well, you don't even have to do that. You just have to buy a couple million karate tokens and play, get in the top 100, and you're going to be treated like karate royalty.
I love that. That's a great endorsement for that. And I'm a huge fan I'm a big holder of the karate token. You guys know I fought for Karate Combat. I talk to the founders quite frequently and have a great relationship with them. I was talking with them. I think it was one of the last, maybe it was even at Salt Lake City when we were in the auditorium and at the arena watching the event. And I look at them, it's just like, man, think about where we are right now versus where we're going to be, say 5 years from now, you know, in a large stadium where, you know, people, it's very intimate right now. Like much what Post was saying, like, even if like you're in the nosebleeds, we'll say nosebleeds right now, just because they're smaller events, like it's still very intimate, but that is going to totally go away. I was just at a UFC event. Unless you get on the floor, like you're in like the normal seats with everybody. And yeah, I mean, the view is great, right? Especially the pit. And that's one of the greatest things. Even at the VeChain sponsorship tickets where you get to sit, they're freaking amazing. But, you know, you've got obstructions from the cage. And that's the big selling point of the pit, is that it's totally unobstructed of the view. And if you're up a little elevated, you know, you're going to have an amazing view. But there is nothing like sitting pit side and listening to that, because you can hear that. It's wild.
Oh my God. It is wild, man. Those 4-ounce gloves fucking smack hard. I love it, dude. And you know what? We could even have a bare knuckle fight, or we could have, you know, like boxing matches in the pit. We could have all sorts of crazy things because it's governed by the super fans. So I know a few guys that have like 1 billion tokens at this point. And you know what? They're highly suggestible. So you get in these little groups like Crypto do, and you get your little cabal chats going, and you actually do something. Instead of robbing people of money, you're changing the rules of one of the most watched sports in entertainment. And I think, you know, with 18 million people right now tuning in live, we will see numbers with this 8-man tournament like we've never seen. Probably 50 to 100 million people watching, more players and up only than ever before. And karate is about to have a bull run like you guys will talk about for ages. Mark my words on that one. NFA though, but I can see it fucking coming from a mile away, bro. It's time to lock in.
I mean, okay, so like without even having to say like not financial advice and all that stuff, because I get it, but you listen, the whole idea of we understand attention economy and all that stuff, right? And crypto is going through this massive growth phase right now where there's a lot of eyes on it. But think about what happens when, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to watch that event. And we've seen millions and millions upon millions every event after every event, like it goes up. But when you have an 8-man heavyweight tournament, think about the clippage that is going to come out of this. Think about, like, you're talking about the knockdowns, the knockdown power, the impact, that it is going to be wild. And all the small clips that come from this, or you talk about 100 million views, 1 billion views, all that kind of shit very fast, because it is going to, that's the potential of it. So when you think about that, and then people are like, oh, there's a crypto attached with this, and it's not a shit coin, meme coin, even though I get the price doesn't reflect it. I'll be very clear and very transparent. One of the things that I talk about with the founders and a lot of people in the ecosystem is the lack of attention that was put on the token. Team aside, I get that, but you know, even like the IFC and all that stuff, like that should have been a much bigger focus in the past. But you know, moving forward, that's kind of where this is all going, and where it needs to be is let's draw the attention, because crypto's going mainstream. This is crypto's first professional sports league. Why the fuck did we not talk about the token enough, in my opinion, right? So.
It was a H-bar problem, in my opinion, a total H-bar problem. We have a tiny bit of a liquidity issue there with H-bar. They haven't really focused a lot on the retail. And to be honest with you, I think like they've been a little greedy with karate. They got their fucking logo out there, they get their shit there, but the listings, the support, the grants, you know, like it could have happened quite easily for a lot of things in the Hedera ecosystem. However, they've just been more focused on giving grants, and the focus has obviously been on the institutions, like the IBMs, Googles, Chainlinks, like all those relationships over the last 4 or 5 years. But now they've turned face. They basically like turned right around. They're like retail now. They've got lots of the foundation grants going out to retails. They're supporting karate listings, market makers, all that shit. So that's why Hedera's having its day right now, because it's finally realized that without retail support, it's got nothing in this decentralized world. So we should see, like I said, all signs are pointing right now to Hedera, and Hedera's biggest fucking sweetheart right now is karate combat. So a lot of people are gonna really start picking up on the tokenomics too. So you picked up on, everybody complains about karate tokenomics. Here's what I think, man. I think that fucking Only LARPing is one of the smartest crypto people in history. And the fact that he was willing to give away most of the ownership rights over VIP seats, and just, he's really out of pocket a lot of money in the first 5 years here in crypto, supporting the crypto industry in a back and forth support between them supporting karate and karate supporting crypto. So they're not going anywhere out of the crypto scene. I can't see Only LARPing not pulling this thing right to the fucking end and keeping it a full-on crypto sport, because that's what it was created for. And I fully believe that the tokenomics were a reflection of everybody's hard work and making karate happen. So they're giving tokens to the early investors who put the events together. They're giving tokens to the athletes. They're giving tokens to the fans who participate in building it. It's a perfect little tokenomic economy. However, there are people that just aren't in crypto that are involved and are getting paid in some. My bad, my mic went off. The athletes, some of the managers, like they sell the karate tokens, so there has been some sell pressure. However, we are 70% token allocated, and once the end of the year happens, we're like 90%. Midway through next year, we're 100% allocated out. That's when the real speculation starts in how karate is going to reward the fans, how they're going to continue up only, and that's going to be through gate and sponsorships, commercials, everything that a pro sport can produce will be kicked back. It's just going to be up to us to make proposals, to govern it, to lock down the deals, to make sure that we're supporting karate as much as they've supported crypto, by getting that token price up, by owning lots of the tokens, locking them up in liquidity, playing up only with most of your stack, supporting them, because it's a big thing for us as crypto developers to have a company you can call, say, here's $5,000, throw a commercial, throw my logo on your mat. What athletes can I work with promotions? I mean, some of the biggest fucking promotions are in the UFC. You see, the big dogs of the world love getting their logos on that mat, and it's for a reason. It's getting lots of eyes, lots of attention, and we have that basically in crypto handed to us on a platter right now. So it's time to take advantage, get in early, like be the tap out, be the early supporter of karate while it's growing right now, so that you can lock down those long-term deals that are going to be, just fucking huge things for your
preserve your. Like, this is the thing that I've been talking about lately. Is like on-chain activity. Like preserve some on-chain activity. Like do some things that precipitate you being on-chain. That's why we're here. We're early adopters. You can't just be a speculator holding onto your coins doing nothing. Like get in. Like whether it's voting in the up only, whether it's participating with your karate tokens, whether it's doing VeChain stuff to earn tokens, or doing this kind of staking, that kind of staking. Get your on-chain activity up. You guys, every single one of us, it's our job right now is to ramp up all of your on-chain activity. And if you don't know what that means, get back to learning. What's up, Kings?
Yo, what's happening, J Chains? How's everybody doing? It's Monday. It's my favorite day of the week. It's new week, new beginnings, new opportunities for all of us. But I hope everybody had a great weekend. Obviously, the market is doing what it does. Just getting started though. Like I said, we're on our way to the party. We haven't even made it to the party yet, but definitely feeling good. There's gonna be red days still ahead, but guess what? I think that we're heading to finally our destination. But
Yep.
what's going on? How's everybody?
Chilling, man, chilling. Back from Nashville. I had a great weekend there, hanging out with some VeFam and some regular fam, going to the UFC fight. So it was good, man. But always good to be home. Back into the studio, back to work, getting to the grind. Got to make some stuff happen. And feeling good about it. Like you, I love Mondays, man. I was always or still am the guy that wants to take the first flight in the morning. I like to fly on Monday's first flight. Like I'm a go-getter. I get up early. Let's make it happen. So I'm feeling with you, man. This is the week.
Hell
Gotta make
yeah.
the magic happen because the markets are
Speaking
on our side. What's that?
speaking of the UFC, I saw that there was potentially going to be a UFC at the White House.
Yeah.
And now John Jones is coming out of retirement. He says he'll fight anybody just to be on that card. So
And Andrew Tate wanted to get on the card too, right?
yeah, it's gonna be pretty epic.
That will be something else, right? A UFC at the White House. I mean, that's love him or hate him. You got to think the fact that he wants to do something like this, like that's one. It's ultimate marketing. It's a massive marketing play for only Donald Trump for sure for his own ego. But think about all the trickle down effects from this, right? Yeah, we love it. UFC fastest MMA fastest growing sport in the world right now. But think about for anybody. I see there's a couple of VeChain fam in the house, and I know there probably are some watching the live stream. Think about what that does, right? When they're doing the show
Like
at the White House, and they turn
crypto.com.
down to the mat, and you see a little little VeChain on there. Boom, baby. Crypto's
Yeah,
gonna make it.
plus crypto.com. Crypto.com's got the big contract with them, so it's gonna probably be the most viewed and watched UFC event ever. So it's gonna be huge.
It's
Perfect timing.
Huge. Go ahead, Mike.
Huge.
So I'm experimenting right now with this Be Better DAO. So I'm all my Tesla charges. I've been stacking better tokens. So we'll see where this bull market goes. But like, can you imagine? Like, it'd be so amazing to be able to say that like all my yearly charging was covered by all my better tokens, and that basically I paid nothing for charging my vehicle.
That's gonna happen, and I'm gonna put one of my kids through college for picking up dog shit. I promise you, I'm gonna take this. Whatever, I got $100 so far for the 1 month, literally 1 month of taking pictures of my morning coffee and picking up my dog poop. Made $100.
Okay, like I'm telling you, and this is literally things that you were already doing anyway. And so some people were like, yeah, dude, all that work for $100. Really, it's not a lot of work. The dog poop, that's 3 pictures. That's the most work out of any of them. And my wife loves doing that one. Just because she takes J-Man on the morning walk. That's an easy one. We do the coffee every day. I do bubbles every day. There's a couple more that I want to get more into, which I'm glad that this was a great segue. Because we have got, I totally had messed up thinking that Cleanify was coming on today. They're coming on Thursday, and then Cleanify on Wednesday, Mugshot on Thursday. So we're going to start integrating into the Be Better DAO every single week. We're going to have these shows on, and then again, we're going to do a mega space. We're going to one day have everybody, and maybe we'll even get like Sonny from VeChain on the mega space. But we got to get all the dApps on first. That's my goal, is to do everybody individually so that we can talk specifically about what they're doing and their ideas, and talk about that again on a project by project basis, and then we go to the top. I see my guy Paulie just popped up here. What's up, Paulie?
Chains, what's good, brother? Finally got a chance to pop in here because I heard you guys talking about Be Better DAO. Shout out to my man Postmaster as well. What's good going on, man? I'm actually, I'm working right now, but I wanted to take a few minutes just to pop in the combo and jump in and if any Be Better DAO questions were up here. Wanted to make sure I was up to talk. Looks like you had a good time at UFC, J Chains. That was cool seeing the post. You hanging out with my man Shazam.
Yeah, dude, that was cool to finally meet him. Anytime that we get to go to these events and there's new people in the VeFam that we get to chit chat with and connect with, man, I love that. So it was cool to talk to him. He even sent me a picture of that tattoo. He got a picture of his Mad V8. Dude, that thing looks pretty great.
Yeah, he's been repping MVA for years. He's been in there. Got to meet him at NFTXLV a couple years ago, so as well as a lot of other people. But Sam's a cool dude, and I see you hung out with Flame as well. So
Yep.
I'm sure you were having yourself a good time there, man.
Oh, dude, we had such a good time. And then my sister, her and her husband and family live just a little bit north of Nashville. It's like 20, 25 minutes. So they got to come to the event too. And so it was such a good time, man. And always appreciate, the VeChain crew and the VBetter DAO to have us at these events and to have that even experience for anybody. And then, you wait around afterwards and you get the special access to go down into the cage and take pictures. It's so amazing. And I just appreciate that we get that opportunity and that other people can have that experience, because coming from people who just normal people who got to participate that, and you get to hear from all the people like in line while you wait to do that at the end after the event. And this is something that it's a life-changing event for people. And so the fact that we get to do this too is absolutely amazing. And so again, shout out to VeChain, shout out to VBetter, shout out to the VeFam, making it all happen. Let's go.
Yeah, I got to go to UFC 311 in LA earlier this year. And they had, Wendy, AJ Rich Crypto was there. I mean, a bunch of people were there having a good time. And it was funny because, we hosted a community meetup. I think it was the night. Yeah, it was the night right before. And we were handing out like VeChain merch and, VeChain UFC shirts and stuff. And it was pretty funny because I know Postmaster, and maybe some of you guys know the UFC Strike crew usually does stuff there. And when we went to the UFC Strike event, there was people wearing some of the merch we were handing out the night before. Right. So it was actually pretty cool. People really dig the UFC VeChain merch, and it would be nice to get more together. I don't know if they had some merch when you were there.
No, I think so I hosted Atlanta, and then however for what it was worth, same thing with Nashville. Gian had asked me to do that, and so the fight nights, they usually don't provide much of that for that. The numbered events, I think, is where they'll have more of that merch. At least is what I've seen in the past. Which, if I'm not mistaken, next month is in Chicago for, was it 318?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I totally forgot it was a fight night. You're right. They usually spring the big bucks for the numbered events. But I'm sure you've gotten a chance to go to a couple over the years. They like getting people like J-Chains out there, representing, having a good time, talking to the peoples.
It's good, just spreading the word. We're always showing up in our VeChain shirts, our VBetter shirts, our hats. I was double merched up. I was wearing because AJ, before he moved, because I got the UFC VeChain shirts. I got a couple different colors. Got they are a little bit tighter these days, which is okay. They have been washed, but I got AJ before he moved away gave me a VBetter gray one in XL that just fits me like a charm, man. I love to wear that one. So I get to show up in the new ones, which is amazing. But then I was also wearing my hat. So I was double merched up. I will always double merch as much as I can going to those events, because you gotta show love, man, because that's how we do it. We gotta be stewards of this entire ecosystem and let them know VeFam, VeChain is for everybody. Again, even going back to just the DAO thing, there are so many people that I talk to about it. I drink coffee all day, everywhere. If I'm out, we're always, especially in a city, we're gonna try to go to a coffee shop and even talking to people, because I will take a picture of my coffee and they're like, "What are you doing?" It's like, well, I'm earning rewards. I'm earning crypto by drinking my coffee out of a sustainable mug. And they're like, "What? I can do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is what you get. This is the app. This is how you do it. It's real easy." And so we're always onboarding at gas stations, at coffee shops, everything. So that's the plan.
Yeah, and I think when pulling back and looking at Web3 in general, I think one of our biggest obstacles right now is just seeing the sentiment change. That the everyday person who just looks at crypto and thinks it's a joke, probably like a lot of us in here thought before we got in, right? Some of us, there's this idea that we're just hanging out playing with fake internet money and cartoon pictures of monkeys and stuff, and that's definitely happening, right? But there's also a lot of great things that are happening here in Web3, and people really trying to build important things. And it's nice to finally have, not just in VeChain, but there are things happening all over Web3 and different chains where you're seeing use cases that are bringing real value. you know, and to be able to have an example like what you're talking about where, oh, hey, you know, you're doing this. Well, did you know you could actually earn something for doing it for nothing?
You're already doing it.
Finally, it's something having things that are tangible that we can show to people like out and about. You know, you may not convince them to go to crypto right out the gate, but the more they're exposed to this stuff, I think the easier it's going to be for them to make that decision.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
and when
listen,
they finally get there.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I can tell you from personal experience, and I mean, you guys know I've been in the space for a number of years, and there was never, and I don't want to say that there was not that connection that my wife was able to make, that she was able to understand, or whether it clicked in or whatever it was, right? But when we started participating in the VBetterDAO ecosystem, like that was an immediate yes. That's on-chain activity, that's getting involved, that's starting to understand kind of how the blockchain technology works. Right. And so whether it was I was a complete failure over the last several years, or it wasn't interesting, or it just wasn't relatable, what the VBetterDAO ecosystem is doing is making it, again, more relatable to just absolutely anybody. And I was on a call with Piero from Mugshot last week saying that same thing. It's like, you know, the whole idea of that, again, they're just everyday things. You can call them tasks, you can call them reward, whatever you want. Right. But there are things that we are all doing every single day. Like Mike, he's got a Tesla. He's got to charge that thing irregardless. Right. So put the thing into the app, make some money. Boom. Now there you go. Same thing. I love the build your body, the workout. I mean, that's something that's everybody wants. Fitness is probably, you got to think, it's probably one of the most saturated markets as far as like content creation and what I do. Right. And so that means there's a lot of fucking people that like getting in shape and having a way for people to reward themselves. They played the commercial at the UFC thing, right? Like they are integrating that. That makes so much sense, right? Okay, there's that, there's the coffee, there's the bubbles, there's all these things that are just regular day activities that everybody's doing them already. So now we just start to train people about, oh, this is what you like, this is what you do. Well, you can get paid to do that. And then they start to find the other apps. And I think that's amazing. Like we're going to try hang dry. I got a little, like a piece of like paracord rope. I'm going to hang it like at the corner of my fence and just start when we go to the pool, you know, at the end of the day, just bring them back and we're going to hang our towels up there. We're going to use a little sun power to hang the towels and see, you know, how does that work? I mean, it's just, again, we're doing it anyway, instead of throwing them in the dryer, because we'll just do a separate load of towels in the dryer. Why not let the sun do it? They're just pool towels.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got a chance to speak with the Hang and Drag team. I believe they're out of the Netherlands, which is another cool thing is, you know, this idea of Web3 offering an opportunity for people all over the world to contribute and be a part of community, which is something I'm really passionate about. Really why I gravitated to this is it helped me feel like I could contribute to something bigger than myself. You know, later tonight, you know, I got MySpace on Mondays, and I'm speaking with a new app coming out that's on the grant proposal voting next week. So we even have these teams that can, you know, go up for grants, and you as a better holder can switch to vote, and not only vote for your DApps you like, but also governance proposals and grant proposals. And Bedtime is an app that's coming out. My buddy Dusty from an NFT project, Goats, he's coming on to talk with us. And basically, you track your sleep, and you can get rewarded for getting a decent night's sleep. You know, which is funny. You know, when you think of sustainability, you don't think about things like, you know, what you said, BYB or sleeping, but it's an amazing factor, your health and wellness. And, you know, so many people die every year because of lack of sleep. They get car accidents and health disease from not exercising. So it's a really good platform to kind of promote all different aspects of sustainability, whether it's personal, you know, physical sustainability or you know, mugshot, you know, limiting paper cups. Sustainability is a pretty broad name. And this is a platform I'm excited to see how people can utilize it more and more, as we heard Sonny on the space that ended before you guys. How many DApps we might see on the DAO, and how many different opportunities you're going to have to earn for doing things that are good for the environment, good for your health, and good for the planet in general.
Yeah, I love that. That was definitely a great show to be on. A couple things. One, I was just looking on your page. I see the one for Bedtime, but I did not see the one for tonight. If you've got that show set up already, if you want to drop something up into the nest so that we can set reminders, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that bedtime one is the one, but I'll go ahead and
Oh,
post
that is it.
it.
Okay, I can do it then.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and we have another one. Better Transit is another one. That's a D app that wants to allow you to actually track your if you use public transportation. If you take bus trips, you can put in your bus route and it'll track it, and you'll get rewarded for that. They're on a grant proposal this week. I've been working with the foundation to try and give these grant recipient requests a platform to connect with the community, and I think that that's something I'm really happy to be able to be a part of. You know, whether it's getting them money or not, you know, I think the important thing for me is giving the community an opportunity to be as informed as possible, but before they make a decision. You know, and I think having this platform is perfect for that. And you know, doing your own research. That's what we talk about. We got to do our research and utilize these platforms that we have when we can.
Dude, 100%. I love the whole idea, you know, with sustainability. Two things. We'll get back to sustainability 1 second. Community. I'm 100% with you. And I was trying to figure out, like, to me, like, what was it that it was almost like the light bulb switch inside of my head. It's like, why does this make so much sense to me? And you know, I think it was in that same call with Piero when he's just like, man, it just like when you hear me talking, I'm talking about me now. It's that, you know, the whole sense of community means so much to me, and you guys understand that. Like, even again, the ethos of this show is for the community, by the community, is the whole thing. I'm just a community member. It doesn't matter if I ever have a large platform or whatever it is. Like, I'm just a community member like everybody else, and that mentality of me will never change. And so this whole idea of this is the ultimate community that makes sense. And another thing that we go back to say was utility, right? Like, utility, we've got to stop speculating. And I know we'll always have speculation in crypto. There will always be room for it. But at some point, a lot of us that have been here now, it's time for all of us to move on. The space is time to grow up. The space is growing up, and we're going to grow up with it. And let's build up the utility phase of it. And that's why this whole thing makes so much sense to me, is that it's the biggest sense of community and utility that you could possibly imagine. And then you get back to sustainability and why I think it's so important. And you guys have heard me say this, and I know other people have as well. You think about sustainability, and okay, so tokenization is a big thing in my world, and that's, you know, the Boston Consultant Group had their 16 to 30 trillion study that came out about tokenization. Well, if you guys are not aware, they also did one on sustainability, and the numbers are like equal, if not larger, or going to be larger than what tokenization is. So if you understand how big tokenization is, sustainability hits on a whole nother level all across the world. And so that is another big thing that that people, and again, you talk about everyday actions for things people are doing already. I mean, the whole idea of doing things to take care of the environment, that's all over the world. Doesn't matter if you're, you know, in a smaller country or a larger country, like, sustainable efforts are happening everywhere. So it's on people's mind. Tokenization, I think, you know, you've got to be paying attention to what's going on financially for that to even make sense, or you to understand what that is. But we're, you know, sustainability in the globe, in the world, and where we live, every fucking person on the planet knows about that, or at least they're aware of it.
Yeah, for sure. And I'd like to think we're pushing towards a time where, you know, we see less tribalism in Web3 and less, you know, we got to get everyone to our chain because we got to win, you know, and more towards there's a place for everyone to win in Web3 if you find your niche. You know, there's a place for each chain to contribute and have its role, you know, in the future. No chain could handle everyone in Web3. Even as small of an environment as Web3 is, we need different. It's great to see platforms like yours that are trying to showcase that and give everyone kind of their chance to shine, and seeing people like yourself and Postmaster and others jumping on the DAO train, because it really is a cause I think we can all get behind. And even if you're not someone who really cares a lot about sustainability, maybe that's not your main focus. At the end of the day, you got an opportunity to get rewarded for doing something that you might be doing anyways, right? And I mean, if they're giving you free money, why not? And then you can take that you get and use it to vote on things that earn even more. I think it's a pretty cool system. So happy to see yourself and others utilizing it and showing what we got here. And I'm doing a new cross chain event now with some people on different platforms, and going to be launching videos ourselves. So looking forward, maybe getting some of you guys on there at some point. But It's really cool to see this cross chain involvement and seeing people look at VeChain and the VBetterDAO as something they want to be a part of.
100%. I'm gonna make a bigger focus of something, bringing it to the attention of everybody because it means a lot to me. That's understandable. A lot of my friends are participating in. A lot of the the people here on X that I know that I've known for many times. They're all part of the VeFam, and so it just makes sense. It makes sense for us all to be doing the right thing, and let's build it up together, and let's have a good time doing it. So I appreciate all y'all, man. I thank you for coming up here. Definitely, go up into the Jumbotron. Hit set reminder on Paulie's space. I will be there tonight. I'm definitely looking forward to listening in because again, I'm pot committed on what's happening right now. So, and I always will be. I'm VeFam. It's probably one of my oldest holdings, and it will be something I'm a part of forever. Just because it's funny when you think about it. Like I got in because of the supply chain aspect of it. Like to me, like I was logistics. That's what I got into crypto because of. Again, I didn't get in because of Bitcoin. I got in because someone said, "Hey, you're start trading this stuff with me." And then when I did my research, literally because it was supply chain and I was like I was director of operations for a logistics company. The whole thing just made sense instantly. With what they got going on in Walmart and China and food sustainability and traceability programs and all that stuff. Like that's what really suckered me in. I say that wholeheartedly. Like that's what got me because it was a part of my world. And I have just, I'm in deep now. So let's keep going. I look forward to seeing your space tonight, man. I will be there. Again, later this week, we got a few of the dApps coming on. Tomorrow is Tuesday. We're just going to chit chat. We'll do a builders and a bags. Tomorrow's a builders and a bag show. So come talk about your favorite projects, your favorite NFTs, what excites you about, crypto and where are you spending your on-chain activity? I will ask every single one of you every single day, where do you spend your on-chain activity? Y'all know where I spend mine. So we'll find out tomorrow from you guys. Appreciate everybody that came up to the space. Make sure you go down and just if you're in the space right now. If you're not, this message doesn't apply to you. You can just leave now. If you are in this space now, make sure you just go down, click on someone's PFP, give them a follow, maybe shoot a DM if they hit you back and ask them, what do you like about crypto? What's your favorite on-chain activity? Whether it's buying NFTs, whether it's using the dApp, whatever, doesn't matter. Just engage with somebody, build your network, let it grow. That's how you get 1% better every single day. That is how you do it. All right. That is it for today. Anybody got any final words before we skedaddle?
Man, Jay Chains, it was great space. Can't wait to see you again, brother, and enjoy the shows. We got tons of fights coming up here. Next 30 days, 3 events. Let's go.
Let's go. Again, I appreciate you guys being here. All right. That is it for today. Ciao for now, mi amigos. Hasta